Hello, you're listening to Count Richard von Coudenhove Clergy. Today is Friday, the 12th of December, and seeing that it's the 7th anniversary of the Marrakesh Political Declaration, I just thought I'd make a short video on this here. And this was signed by Charlie Flanagan in 12th December 2018, and effectively it was to do with the movement of people from the continent of Africa into Europe to ease the movement of people. Now, I suppose I'm not really going to go scroll through it all the way, and I'll go back to the start here. Now, the second document that day that was signed by Charlie Flanagan is the Global Compact on Migration, and this was the final draft. And you can see it's a 34-page document, and interesting to note, back in 2018, the percentage of foreign-born in Ireland was 17%, and according to Eurostat, it is now in around 23%, and that includes the 83,000 Ukrainians seeking assistance from the state, out of a population now of 1.3 million foreign-born. Isn't that something? And one of the principles on the Global Compact on Migration regards any organisation that gets funding from the state must show migration in a favourable light. And interesting to note how that seemed to repeat itself in the referendum on the family, when Roderick O'Gorman as minister said that any organisation that wanted to justify why they did not want to see the family, the word family or mother removed, or woman removed from the statute, would have to give an explanation as to why they actually felt that way. But it's an interesting document. It's worth printing off and taking a look through it and see the changes in Ireland from then to now. Now, I suppose the other purpose of my video is that I just want to do my own little take on this incident involving the drones in the Irish Sea during the time of Zelensky's visit, and something which I noticed and doesn't seem to have got on the radar, if you pardon the pun, of the Irish Times, RTE or any publications, is the fact that the Air Corps had an aircraft in a holding pattern off Kilcool and Greystones at 14,000 feet for over an hour while Zelensky's plane came into arrival. Now, just a couple of notes here. The defence budget for 2025 is 1.35 billion. Now, you compare that to overseas aid of 2 billion, which includes climate finance of 225 million for Sahel regions and sub-Saharan African regions, and that figure does not include the 505 million which has been given to Ukraine. And also in the Irish Sea at the same time, the CASA plane was in its holding pattern. The WB Yates was somewhere in the Irish Sea, and on board it had infrared equipment, could very easily have picked up where the drones came and landed from, the origins of the drone. And I just thought, in the wake of this, I'd give it a week and see what has come up, and a couple of interesting things have now developed. Defence budget has been increased to 1.49 billion, and in that is a 300 million allocation for primary capital, which includes radar. Now, the government is also getting a private jet, which is a Falcon F6X at a cost of 48 million euro. Now, interestingly, this aircraft will include missile warning systems, which will be capable of detecting missiles from up to 23 miles and will include chaff dispensers, 4 chaff dispensers, which will have 38 rounds of chaff. And I suppose the idea is to have evasive tactics to evade any shoulder-launched missiles. So that's the plan anyway. And but that was all. I just thought it was very interesting, and I just thought I'd use this footage here of the CASA taking off, and I'd like to put in a promotional video from CASA regarding the Irish Air Corps aircraft. Interesting to note, earlier this year, the Irish government donated some radar to Ukraine. Isn't that something? So while it could have been used over here to watch out for things like those drones, the Irish government decided to give it to Ukraine. How nice of them. Yeah. Minister for Foreign Affairs Simon Harris, who was attending a meeting in the European Union, will say continued support for Ukraine was necessary and not by choice. And here is more about recent donations to Ukraine. Radar defense systems. And total aid now is 505 million. Now, I suppose the other purpose of this video is I wanted to highlight the fact that the Irish Air Corps had the Maritime Patrol aircraft in a holding pattern. Now, this is from Flight Radar, and this is at 20 p.m. Now, it stayed in the region of that area for over an hour, so you're talking up to roughly 9:30, and then it made its way up the coast of Greystone. So it was in that pattern for over an hour. So you can see the other movement of aircraft there. What we got, Ryanair heading into Dublin at the same time as 9 o'clock in the evening there, and that's the Air Corps plane. Another Ryanair probably coming out from Dublin going to Malaga. So I'm going to do now is fast forward to when it's off Kilcool. Now you can see it there. It was operating at 14,000 feet, and in this particular racetrack type pattern, and it held that pattern for over an hour. And Zelensky's plane touched down just before 11 o'clock. So it was well within the capabilities of this aircraft to be diverted over towards where the WB-8 was and do a search pattern around that aircraft, around the ship. So I suspect a lot of this has actually been used to hype up the fact that such little of our GDP is actually spent on defence, and it could be a point of embarrassment, especially when Ireland takes over the presidency of the EU next year, that they have such little air defence capability. And I suspect more that the drones were possibly released from a military vessel, not necessarily from the state. It could have been part of the Royal Navy, MI5, or something else, or even the Ukrainians themselves, who would put it beyond them. And certainly wouldn't that mean more money for them. And so you can see there was air activity at the same time. And Aer Lingus coming in where we got there, Barcelona to Dublin. Another one here, Lufthansa to Dublin. And that's at 5,000 feet. So the CASA was at 14,000 feet. And I'm sure we can catch a little bit more planes. So I spotted a couple of Ryanair aircraft landing in at the same time as Zelensky's aircraft, and Zelensky came in, as I said, he came in closer to 11 o'clock. So you can see there, what have we got there? London, and that's at 10,000 feet. And you've another Ryanair fella here. He's in the holding pattern as well. So obviously that must have been the time that Zelensky's plane was in arriving. So you have the 2 Ryanair aircraft there in a little holding pattern, as well as the Air Corps CASA aircraft. And there we have a Ryanair who had Barcelona. That's joining in the little, it's like a Spiratot drawing in the sky. Well, they're just my thoughts, which are my own. I hope you find that interesting. Technical problems. How unfortunate. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and please comment, and I always enjoy reading the comments afterwards. So I'll say good night, good luck, God bless, and God save Ireland from those that want to do us harm.
My name is Miguel Candeal, and I'm responsible for product marketing for intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance aircraft in Airbus Defence and Space. And today we are here in Seville to showcase the newest version of the C295 maritime surveillance aircraft for the Irish Air Corps. Let's take a look closer to the aircraft. We can see in the front the enhanced vision system cameras, which are a set of infrared cameras that, together with a head-up display, provide better visibility to the pilots in low visibility conditions. As well, we can see the electro-optical and infrared turret with 2 high-definition cameras and a laser rangefinder and laser illuminator. If we go to the back, we can see the multi-mode radar here in black, which is capable to detect targets above the sea surface up to a distance of 200 nautical miles. And we can see the white antenna after the radar, which is the automatic identification system in order to track boats and other vessels. The aircraft is equipped with a complete set of communications, including military HF, VHF, and also wideband SATCOM, as you can see in the top. And it allows to downstream data and video to ground to the Mission Support Center. Let's take a look inside. The C295 has the longest unobstructed cabin in its class, with 12.7 meters of cabin plus 3 meters in the rear ramp. Here in the cockpit we can see the Collins ProLine Fusion avionics, which are standard to the C295 fleet. The mission system is integrated so that we can see in the central screens the video from the electro-optical and infrared turret, and as well the situation map from the mission consoles. We are at the fully integrated tactical system, the core of the mission system. It allows to integrate, present and control the information from all the mission sensors in real time. As well, the consoles are multifunctional. It means that we can take control of every sensor which is installed in the aircraft, no matter from which position. The aircraft is equipped with 2 bubble windows that can be open in flight, so that the operators can take visual coverage of what's happening around the aircraft, and as well take pictures which are linked to the mission system. This aircraft is equipped with an infrared and ultraviolet system in order to detect oil spills on the sea surface, and as well with a LiDAR. It's a laser sensor that allows topographic images and as well bathymetric images, so the operator can see what's happening below the sea surface. The rear ramp of the C295 is a complete game changer. It allows quick cabin reconfiguration into other roles. So while keeping the fixed mission consoles installed in the front, we can have the rest of the cabin available for other roles, such as troop and personnel transport, cargo transport and medical evacuation. Airbus will be supporting the Irish Air Corps operation with a DCARE services contract, covering all possible aspects of fleet management, in order to guarantee the highest possible fleet availability. We, in Airbus, are fully committed to support the Irish C295 fleet for the years to come.